Hello, Spazzy McGee here with another episode of Stream MacGyver. Today we're going to talk about the dark side of streaming, my near burnout experience. I thought being a full-time streamer was the dream. No alarm clocks, no boss, just me, my games, and my community. But one day I sat here staring at my setup and I couldn't press go live. I was exhausted, burned out, and somehow miserable. This is a story of how chasing my dream job nearly destroyed me, and how I fought to get my life back. Let's get to it. It all kicked off in May of 2016 from a simple place. I just wanted to make friends in the gaming world. Most of my friends from college had fallen off the map, and I hadn't had a real creative outlet since my music career back in 2011. I started streaming games like Dark Souls 3, survival games like Rust, and the early battle royales like H1Z1 and PUBG. A small following started to build, and I realized a new love was forming. So I invested myself more and more into making fun content and an inviting community. The first real taste of success came in February 2018 with a game called Hunt Showdown. My viewership shot up from an average of 9 to 83 by that June. Then an even bigger spike hit in June of 2019 when I started playing Star Citizen. And by August, I was averaging 121 viewers. It felt like I had found my flow, my community, and my family. But during that time, I applied for a Twitch partnership twice, and both times it fell short because my viewership would drastically fall right after I submitted the application. I couldn't understand it. I had worked so hard, and it felt like I was being punished. Despite the setbacks, I pressed on. In November of 2019, I lost my full-time job as a digital director in the car industry, a career I had had for 7 years. But my channel was performing so well going into 2020, especially with Call of Duty Warzone taking off, that my wife and I decided it was time. This was my chance to go full-time. It's the moment every streamer dreams about. It felt like I was finally in charge of my own life. I was a full-time content creator. I'd made it. Or so I thought. The freedom I expected was a total illusion. In reality, I had just traded one boss for 1,000 of them. My viewers, the algorithm, and that relentless analytics page. When streaming is how you pay your bills, every moment that you're not live feels like you're losing money. The pressure is immense, and the algorithm becomes your entire world. I lived and died by a set of rules that I couldn't see. My entire journey was a series of massive highs followed by crushing lows. The spike with Hunt Showdown, the bigger one with Star Citizen, and then the huge boost from Warzone. They all felt amazing. But after each peak, the numbers would flatline. By November of 2020, my channel had gone completely quiet again. That instability was brutal, and the emotional whiplash was draining. I wasn't just playing games, I was in a desperate dance to please the numbers. And through it all, there was a deep, profound loneliness. My relationship with my wife started to wither because I was putting this dream ahead of being a good spouse to her. It's a strange paradox, right? You're talking to hundreds of people, you have a partner who loves you, but you feel completely alone because no one outside of this world can understand the specific pressure of keeping it all afloat. And the breakdown wasn't one big moment. It was a slow rot. With the channel flatlining again and the harsh reality setting in, I began to let myself go. The physical toll was shocking. I reached almost 280 pounds, and my poor habits were starting to rapidly destroy my physical health at a very young age. My doctor told me I had to turn my life around. My body was screaming at me to stop. But my mental state was even worse. The joy was gone, replaced by a feeling of dread. As I had stated, hitting go live felt like lifting a 1,000-pound weight. This is the textbook definition of burnout, the state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. That moment that I described at the beginning, that was my rock bottom in my career aspirations. Staring at the screen, knowing my health was failing, knowing my marriage was strained, knowing my dream was once again collapsing. All I could think was, I can't do this anymore. But in that moment, under all that fear, there was a spark of relief. Though the thought of quitting was the first peaceful thought I'd had in months, I realized the career I loved was destroying me, and I had to make a change. See, the positive side is that hitting rock bottom forced me to stop everything and just rebuild my life. Not around the algorithm, but around what I needed to be a healthy human being. First, with the help of my close friend, General Andrews, I started working out and eating better. My wife and I made a move near our family, and I found work again. I took a real break from content. actually over a year, in fact. I didn't return until September of 2023, and during that time I worked as an assistant manager at GameStop and then as a remote IT specialist for H&R Block. I know, sounds dreamy, right? That time away gave me something crucial: perspective. I co-founded an LLC and built a non-copyright music company called Bonsai Beats with my business partner. I was building a future that wasn't solely dependent on the whims of a streaming platform. Also, in all of that, what I found was my innocence again, the real reason why I started making content in the first place. Eventually, I quit my other jobs and decided to invest in myself again, but this time with my finances secured through gig work like DoorDash and Walmart's Spark Driver program. And actually, we're gonna probably talk about that in a future video. Yet all in all, what this did is it allowed me to pursue my content and entrepreneurial goals without the crushing financial pressure. It's about the balance, not the burnout. And most importantly, my wife and I were a team again. We had made it through the storm together. So really, all in all, that's my unfiltered story. The pressure, the loneliness, the burnout, it's an epidemic in the creator world. Now I want to turn this conversation over to you. If you're a creator or someone who wants to be, or even a viewer who has seen this happen, share your story in the comments below. Let's make this a place where we can talk about the ugly side of the industry and support each other. Chasing your dream should not feel like a nightmare. The lessons I learned were hard won. First, never sacrifice what is truly important to you. And that could include your health, your relationships, all just to achieve your goals. I can't express this enough. You want the people who journeyed with you to be there by your side at the finish line. Second bit of advice that I can give you: this is not a sprint. It's a long-term investment in yourself and your business. And lastly, if you're not having fun and enjoying yourself, your audience won't either. Remember that content is also about what your viewers love watching you do. So don't be afraid to ask them. It is okay to take a break. It is okay to set boundaries. Your well-being is the most important asset you have. If you're feeling broken, please know you can rebuild. And most importantly, know that you are not in this alone. I'm so very grateful to have everyone who has been with me on this journey. And I really hope that this video gave you a bit of clarity in your life. I know the tone is a little different this time compared to my other videos, but in today's fast-paced world, I think it's a message more people need to hear. I started this journey staring at my setup, wondering if I couldn't keep going. Now I'm here with balance, health, and a community I'm proud of. If you've ever chased a dream so hard that it almost broke you, remember, your value isn't tied to how much you produce. So take a break, drink some water, ground yourself, breathe, and then when you're ready, press go live again. Thanks for watching.